Friends, it's day 827 of the unprovoked Russian invasion of Ukraine, and tonight the Russian terrorists attempted another missile strike. On this image you can see the path used by the Russian missiles and drones, and apparently they picked Khmelnytsky and Starokostiantynivka as the main target for tonight's attack. The Ukrainian Air Force reports 7 out of 11 Russian missiles and 32 Iranian Shahed drones intercepted. Also, there were missiles and artillery strikes around Kharkiv region. The local authorities report that at least 7 civilians were wounded due to the Russian strikes on the civilian houses. Earlier, a huge explosion was recorded in the Russia-occupied Donetsk. The local witnesses report that Ukrainian missiles hit the Russian military base, eliminating personnel stationed there. Another strike took place in the Russia-occupied Kerch. According to the reports, up to 20 explosions were recorded. The Russian authorities claimed that ferry infrastructure was damaged, and as we all know, the ferry in Kerch is used to deliver Russian troops and munitions. Before the Kerch bridge was built, the Russian invaders used ferry to deploy troops which annexed Crimea in 2014, and today they keep using the ferry for the military purpose. According to the most recent data, the Russian terrorists lost 7 smaller vessels. Among them were 4 troop-carrying boats, 1 scout boat, and 2 ferry ships. And the most important update of the day: allied countries called to allow Ukraine to strike military targets on the Russian territory using Western weaponry. Among the countries which gave their permission are Canada, France, Denmark, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Sweden, Poland, Czech Republic, the United Kingdom, Netherlands, and Finland. Several reasons why the decision was made. First of all, 2 years were enough to realize Russia is not planning to de-escalate. The terrorists keep striking and deliberately killing Ukrainian civilians, and they will not stop as far as they see opportunity to annex more territories, being motivated by the Western hesitation. Second reason is the world slowly realizes the scale of the threat of the Russian hybrid warfare. The warfare that involves terrorism, misinformation, assassination, and destabilization, besides the military threat itself. The terrorist federation is a really dangerous adversary which openly talks about destroying the Western civilization for almost a century. Third reason is Russia wants to annex the countries which belonged to the Soviet space. This includes the Baltic countries, Poland, Bulgaria, and big chunk of Germany, with half of Berlin. I've been to the Stasi Museum in Berlin. Trust me, you don't want Ruski Mir in your house. And another reason, if Ukraine falls to the Russian troops, the civilized world will still face the Russian invasion, only this time it will be reinforced by the Ukrainian army, with its vast experience in using the NATO weaponry and tactics. And the fifth reason, the world doesn't want to witness elimination of the Ukrainian identity, which will be erased like the Russian Nazi did to Bashkirs, Yakuts, Buryats, Ingushi, Ossetians, Vaynaks, Dagestani, and other nations that were absorbed by the Russian Empire. You will not find a school in Russia where children are taught in their native language. And of course, there's absolutely no Ukrainian schools in Russia because the Russian supremacists deny the right of Ukrainian nation to exist. Now, internationally wanted criminal Putin, also known as Huilo, already reacted to the international decision to allow Ukraine fight back using the Western weaponry. Let's take a look at his response.
Готовятся не украинские военнослужащие, а представителями стран НАТО. Но так вот, эти представители стран НАТО, особенно в Европе, особенно в малых странах, они должны вообще отдавать себе отчет, с чем они играют. Они должны помнить о том, что это, как правило, государство с небольшой территорией и с очень плотным населением. И этот фактор, которые они должны иметь в виду, прежде чем говорить о нанесении ударов вглубь российской территории.
Basically, what he says is Russia will be striking your citizens. It's really hard to interpret this statement in a different way. Putin knows that Russians are killing Ukrainian civilians, he's the one who orders it, and he openly tells Europeans that Russia will be deliberately killing them in the densely populated European cities. Again, as I mentioned in my previous video, Russian terrorists stopped pretending they have honor, they stopped pretending that their troops follow internationally recognized rules of war. There's just too much footage proving their crimes. Cutting body parts, executing prisoners and civilians, raping women, in some cases toddlers, like for example this Russian terrorist Alexei Bychkov who recorded his crimes on video. All this pretty much blurs the differences between the Russian so-called army and fucking ISIS. Next time somebody asks you about first thing you think about when you hear the word Russia, please remember the face of this Russian so-called soldier. This is the true face of the Russian terrorism. And to finish this video on a positive note, the Hostomel Brigade published a footage of destroying a terror Russian turtle tank. The corresponding video was shared by my brother Max from the Flashback channel. Please make sure to subscribe. So, it turns out that these tanks can be easily destroyed by common Ukrainian kamikaze drones, and their advertised supernatural features turned out to be completely fake, just like everything produced by the terrorist federation. With that, my friends, I wish you all a beautiful day. I'm Operator Starsky. As always, be safe.